Right now, the world is facing something scientists call a loneliness epidemic. According to the United States Surgeon General, 1 in 4 adults say they feel completely alone, disconnected, invisible. But here's the strange part. Some people are alone by choice. They looked at their phone, saw a familiar name, and decided, not today, not anymore. And instead of feeling lonely, they felt something unexpected, peace. So the real question is this. When did you become the person who walks away and never looks back? Because you were not always like this. There was a time when you were the reliable one. You were the friend who answered calls at 2 a.m., the family member who kept the peace during arguments, the partner who absorbed everyone's problems like a human sponge. When people fell apart, you were the one they called. And every single time you answered, you listened to the same complaints. You gave the same advice. You watched them ignore it, only to come back again with the same problems. Over and over. Until one day, something changed. You didn't answer the phone. And surprisingly, the world didn't collapse. It actually got quiet. And that moment, that wasn't weakness. Your brain was doing exactly what it was designed to do. Your brain was protecting you. Psychologists actually have a name for this. Neuroscientist Dr. Stephen Porges explains it through something called polyvagal theory. Your nervous system has different modes. One is designed for connection, but another is designed for protection. When you've been emotionally drained too many times, when people take more than they give, your brain flips a switch. It moves you out of social engagement mode and into something called the dorsal vagal response. In simple terms, your body says, enough. It shuts down. It withdraws. It conserves energy, not because you are broken, but because your nervous system is protecting you. Because energy is not unlimited. It's a resource, and your brain treats it like one. But here's a deeper question. Where did your brain learn that people could drain you in the first place? The pattern often starts in childhood. For many people, the story begins much earlier than adulthood. Maybe you grew up reading the room before you could read books. The moment a parent walked through the door, you scanned their face, trying to predict their mood. Because you knew one thing. Their emotions could change the entire atmosphere of your home. Psychologist Murray Bowen called this pattern emotional cutoff. It happens when a child learns something very early. That closeness sometimes comes with a cost. That love and unpredictability can exist together. So you adapted. You became the one who could sense tension before anyone spoke. The one who could feel the shift in the air. And sometimes, the safest place became being alone. Fast forward to adulthood. That same survival pattern still exists. Every time someone gets too close, your brain quietly asks, is this safe? That isn't a flaw. That's a survival blueprint your younger self created. But this is where things become complicated. Because there's a huge difference between protecting your peace and building walls around your life. Walls versus boundaries. Here's the truth most people never talk about. Not all cutting people off is the same. The Centers for Disease Control reports that prolonged isolation increases the risk of heart disease by 29%, stroke by 32%. So yes, isolation can be dangerous. But here's the part rarely discussed. The wrong people can be just as harmful. So how do you tell the difference? It's simple. Walls block everyone. Good people, bad people, everyone. Walls are built from fear. But boundaries are selective. They are built from self-awareness. If you cut someone off and felt relief, that's information. If you cut someone off and felt peace, that's protection. The real question isn't, should I let people into my life? The real question is, who deserves access to my peace? And deep down, you already know the answer, because you've been studying people for years. Your brain became an expert at reading people. People who cut others off usually don't do it randomly. They do it because they've become incredibly good at recognizing patterns. You notice things most people ignore. The friend who only calls when they need something. You noticed it within 2 months. The relative whose compliments always have hidden conditions. You learned their pattern years ago. The person who showers you with attention, then disappears. You saw the cycle before it finished. Science supports this. A 2023 study in Nature Neuroscience discovered that people who experienced early emotional stress develop stronger threat detection in the brain. In other words, your brain became extremely good at reading people. Researchers from the University of Iowa also found increased activity in the frontal lobe of people with similar experiences. That's the part responsible for complex social decisions. So no, you're not paranoid. You're not overly sensitive. Your brain simply processes social signals at a deeper level. That uncomfortable feeling you sometimes get around someone? That's thousands of past experiences being analyzed in seconds. Your brain whispering, something is off. And now, you've learned to listen. You're not lonely, you're selective. Society often labels people like you. They say you're antisocial, distant, withdrawn. But those words assume something is missing. They assume you're incomplete without constant connection. But there's another word for what you're experiencing. Solitude. Loneliness is when you want connection, but can't find it. Solitude is when you choose space and find peace. You're not sitting alone hoping someone calls. You're sitting in your own space, finally hearing your own thoughts. Your phone is quiet, and that quiet feels like relief, not rejection. People who don't understand may think you're running away, but the truth is something else entirely. You're not running away from people. You're running toward peace, toward clarity, toward a version of yourself that only exists outside of chaos. That's not isolation. That's sanctuary. The truth about happiness. And if you're wondering whether you're doing life wrong, science has already answered that question. Harvard conducted one of the longest studies on happiness ever recorded. It lasted 75 years. And the conclusion was simple. Happiness is not about having many relationships. It's about having the right relationships. So if your circle is small, but filled with people who truly see you, who respect your boundaries, who bring calm instead of chaos, then you're not failing at connection. You're mastering it. Because protecting your peace is one of the quietest forms of strength a person can have. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do in life is simply deciding who no longer gets access to you. If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments. I read every single one. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more psychology videos like this, where we explore the hidden patterns of human behavior and the quiet ways we protect our peace. Until the next video, protect your energy and protect your peace.